We're back with the Artifact Tribal deck, the same one as before. I haven't done any changes. It's rolling way too smoothly for me to mess with it. I'm super happy with the way it's turned out. Really, it looks like this. And if you guys haven't caught this deck before, just know that it's really aggressive, but also sometimes grindy and wins by doing some cool combo-y stuff and flashing in things mid-combat and blowing opponent out, stabilizing with the Wormlet and the Automaton all growing at instant speed. Yeah, not going to spend too long on the intro because I haven't changed anything in the deck. This is my baby, my own invention, my little homebrew, and I love her. So I've third video making it with it, second with this exact iteration of the deck. But yeah, that's not going to stop me. I love the deck, so let's get some wins. Okay, what do we think of this hand? We've got a couple 1-drops, a couple removal spells. Opponent goes first. I think it's good. Just good enough. Got lots of potential to be fast. It would have been a bit better against aggro because we have 2 removal spells and on the draw. But that's a great draw against a mid-range deck. So we'll play a hot shot and another frontliner. Typically, in my experience, these Grixis decks, they don't run board wipes. They don't run Brotherhood's End or any of that stuff. So that's quite good for us right now. Now, we have 2 options, right? We could remove the Goblin and attack, or we could play the Simulacrum, put the counters on the frontliner, and then attack with everything. And then the Goblin Shaman, yeah, it gets to trade with one of the hotshot mechanics if it wants. And I think that might be best. That way, we widen our board state, we grow the board, we put pressure on opponent by attacking with everything, and we save our 2 removal spells for something bigger, whether it be Shieldred or even the Fable once it flips. Not too sure, but happy to do it like this. Opponent does get to block 3 damage. He discards a Corpse Appraiser, so he must have something good to cast here. Opponent just passes the turn. We're not incentivized to do anything pre-combat here. So let's go ahead and attack and see what opponent has in store for us. Likely he's holding up counter magic of some sort. Urtai, okay. So I think I'll just Fateful Absence that before it blocks. Let's see what he kills. He kills the Simulacrum? That's good for us because we could cast it next turn. Well, unearth it. Unearth not being cast matters a lot in this deck. Doesn't trigger the patchwork. So we're going to kill that, and we'll still get in for 5. We'll draw a card from the Urtai trigger. And once damage resolves, we'll put the automation into play. So that's one thing about Fateful Absence, is you don't see it too often, because the fact that it gives him a clue, giving him a card draw later is, you know, pretty bad. But in this deck, when we're really aggressive, and it's not bad, because hopefully we kill opponent before they get to really stabilize and have 2 extra mana to dump into a clue. I think we just stick to the plan here. It's kind of risky, actually, if we don't remove the reflection, and then next turn opponent casts something like Corpse Appraiser, or even a Blood Harvester. Because then he instantly makes a copy of whatever he played, gets an ETB ability, potentially removes the thing. So it's tempting to just do this, but opponent certainly has counter magic. Well, I think this is better. Plus, this is going to put a lot of pressure on opponent. Like, a lot of pressure. We'll get the Simian into play. We'll put the counters on the Patchwork automation because without that, it could be chumped by the reflections, and it's just a good target because of the ward. So we smash in, and we'll put the +1 on the Simulacrum, because we'd rather that one be blocked than the Hotshot mechanic. And it's another Urtai. Okay, so it probably kills the frontliner with that. We draw Bankbuster. Okay. Then opponent trades. So the board is clear. He's stable, but he's on 5. And we have a nice removal spell for when he does cast his Shielded sooner or later. Okay, so it's not Shielded. Rootwire Amalgam. I almost always end up casting this for 2, but maybe this is a game where I cast it for 5. I have 6 mana here, so I think what I'll do is I'll play the Rootwire for 2. I'll play the Bankbuster for 2. And then with the other 2, I could either draw with the Bankbuster, or hopefully, potentially, maybe, opponent will try to remove the Rootwire, and in response, we'll do this. The channel ability from Touch the Spirit Realm. Returning Rootwire to play at the end of my turn as a 5/5. So, it costs us a card to do it, but it stopped him from removing it. Opponent bins the negate and the Gopher Throat. He's digging. He needs some sort of better kind of removal. Opponent attacks. You know what this represents is a Invoke Despair. Opponent needs his mana for Invoke Despair. So let's block with this guy. And then if he invokes Despair, we'll crew up the Bankbuster, and we'll have lethal next turn. There it is. We got him. Crew. Yeah, playing this one slow really paid off. We had some time to make some good decisions, and we got him. We got him. So, I just want to touch on one thing really quick here. Rootwire Amalgam, a card that you almost never sees play, but even if opponent was on 15 life right now with an empty board and tapped out, we could kill him. Pay 5, sacrifice the Amalgam, create an XX, where X is 3 times his power. Currently his power is 5, so it'd be a 15. It gains haste. So you just attack with a 15/15 right now. Very, very cool. Not super strong overall, but like circumstantially can be very strong. So a pretty cool card, and glad we won that first one. Let's keep going. Okay, always happy to be on the play, and this hand's lovely. We got 3 lands and some good action, so it's definitely a keep here. I like to always start with the Wormlet, even though the mechanic's a bit more aggressive. I find like the Wormlet just, the sooner you get it down, the faster it grows and gains you life. And not relevant now, but relevant, really relevant against mono red, which seems to be the deck half the time. So, mechanic second, throws the Wormlet, get in for 2. An opponent with a second top land, very slow. We've seen 4 colors here, everything but green. So I'll play the Foundry, might even want to attack with it next turn. We'll play the Simulacrum, and we'll grow the Hotshot mechanic since the Wormlet will grow on his own. Mashing for 7 on turn 3. Opponent's got a real clock in front of him, needs a board wipe. No temporary lockdown or anything? Ha ha ha, what do we think here? I think the most aggressive line is I play Hotshot mechanic pre-combat. Right, that grows the Wormlet, now he's a 4. Then I crew, or not crew, but you know, I make the Foundry into a creature and I attack with all. So that'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would be lethal if opponent doesn't have a response. Then if he has a board wipe the next turn, that's very bad for us. It's actually Xaxes without playing the Wormlet pre-combat. So let's play the attack like this and see what he does. He has a Void Rend, okay. So Depopulate is a real card. You know, we gotta really watch that Depopulate. So I think I'll actually not play the Hotshot mechanic now. And we'll see what opponents got. It's not a Depopulate, whatever it is. Wandering Emperor, probably. Well, if it's Wandering Emperor, let's just crew this up. We'll attack. He'll use the Emperor on the Wormlet. In which case he'll still take 4, gain 2. So he'll be at 2. And from 2, well, now we're feeling pretty good. We should be able to squeak 2 damage out here. Let's play the mechanic out. May have cost yourself to the game playing around Depopulate when he didn't have it. But we have lots of removal in hand. It's Angel of Wrath for 5. Okay, so he gets to kill 1 thing and gain 2 life. And makes a creature. Alright. So we're gonna go Channel ability for 2 mana to just get rid of that guy. Then Soul Partition to get rid of this angel. And then play our Wormlet. Smash in for 2. Now opponent is on the ropes. We've had him on the ropes. Ah, another Angel of Wrath. Oh god. We need to draw removal. Yes! Yes! The deck coming through for us, dude. See you later, Leon. Sucker. Oh man, I can't believe that. Oh, that was such a tough win. The thing is, like, sometimes you have to play around what opponent could have, and then other times you just get screwed for doing that, right? Like, he had Wandering Emperor instead of Depopulate, and that made that game really tough, and we got a bit lucky to win it. But we'll thank the shuffler this time around instead of complaining about it. Anyways, GG. So, one of those situations, I think it's fine. Keeping 2 lands on the draw feels a lot better than keeping it on the play. And if we look at what we actually have going on, it's still a Wormlet turn 1 into Hotshot mechanic, which is a decent board state. So it should make it so we don't get ran over. Then we have some interaction. As long as we hit 1 land, this hand is great. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Concealing Curtains. Card was super popular, and then it kind of just stopped seeing play for quite a while. And now I've seen it a little bit. I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd time I see it in a black deck recently. I don't really know what changes to make these things come in and out of favor. But I mean, mono red is around right now, so I could see this being a great turn 1 play. We did draw our land, so we're in good shape now. Alright, so opponent pays 3 and transforms it, and then when it transforms, he gets to do the thing. How do we feel about using Touch the Spirit Realm in response to him dumping 3 mana into it? So then it exiles it, it never transforms, and then he gets it back at the end of turn. Probably not very good, right? Talking about the channel ability here. The thing is, it slows him down entirely for a turn. But he gets the card back and then we're down a card from hand. And his comes right back to play. And we don't really care about protecting any specific thing from our hand that badly, but it does shut down his entire turn 2 play. We're not gonna worry about it. Oh man. Almost ran out of time there, not realizing I didn't have any extra timeouts. Yeah, we'll just play the Hotshot mechanic. It grows the Wormlet. We want to grow the Wormlet every turn if we can. Bit tricky. He gets to do his thing. Probably gets rid of the Thresher or the Simulacrum. But the Simulacrum does have Unearth, so we'll get value out of it later. Thresher is a good card. I don't know if it's the pick here. He chooses it. Oh, he chooses, sorry, touch the spirit realm. It was hidden behind my mic. Then he says, I'm getting in. I think that's fine. Let's take it. Opponent wants to show us how aggressive he could be. Let's show him how aggressive we can be. We'll go with the Simulacrum. Put the counters on the mechanic since the Wormlet will grow on its own. Smash in for 7, and we're like 5 damage opponent. How about 7? Now next turn we can cast the Rootwire Amalgam for 2 as a pretty good blocker. It trades with the underdog. And then leave up the Touch the Spirit Realm instant ability, the channel. I love using it on the Simulacrum. We're gonna just take here. Just 5 damage opponent. That's it. That's it, bud. He has 3 mana to dump into that, so it can become a 3/3 Death Touch. I think that might change a lot here, that Wormlet. Because if I just go Wormlet Thresher, I'll gain 2 life and grow 2 creatures. Let's... Man, alright. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I think it's the highest upside play. And I want to do it pre-combat because I want my Wormlet to be as big as possible. One thing that sucks in this position is if opponent has Gopher Throat, it hits the Wormlet. Look at that. I love when you cast the Combat Thresher and you get 3 triggers on the stack. Counter, counter, gain a life, draw. Let's go like this. We're really happy to block next turn with Simulacrum. And the Wormlet also has Death Touch now. The opponent takes 4 and removes the 4/4 Wormlet. That's fine. Now opponent's all of a sudden realizing he can't just attack into us and race with us, because you're gonna lose that race, brother. Good morning, brother. Well, I'm always curious to know what people do. If you guys want to leave a comment in the chat, say what you guys do for a living. Personally, I'm an electrician, work in construction. That's why sometimes when I get a little bit heated, I start to swear like a dirty sailor. I am a dirty construction worker. So, definitely gonna sack the Simulacrum here. I think we might have opponent, like, I think you're done. Now he can't attack. Leaves up 2 mana for a removal spell, or does he cast another 2 mana creature? Or does he have nothing? So what are you thinking about, dude? You're not gonna attack. You're clearly not attacking, Milo. Oh, Milo's crazy. He says, you don't know me. Definitely not blocking. Feel like we win this race pretty hard. So 2 plays here, okay? First one is touch the Spirit Realm, just get rid of the underdog. And then we could Rootwire Amalgam, that'll grow the Wormlet. That's 9 power exactly, so that's lethal. Then the other play is we go Wormlet into Unearth the Simulacrum, put the counters on the Thresher, attack with all. Then we gain 2 life. Go to 10. That might be even better. Let's do it like that, yeah. Because that way when we do the Simulacrum double spell next turn, it will, it'll grow the second Wormlet as well. I think it's fine if opponent makes us discard a card here. It's lethal anyways if he doesn't have a removal spell or something. He doesn't. Good game, good game. Perfect. Yeah, that was an interesting last decision there, because it was like there's two lines, both are good, and they both potentially leave them dead. So it's like, all right, which one's better upside? And I chose the one that would leave us in a better position next turn. Kind of conservative play. I think it was more aggressive to go with the Spirit Realm into the Amalgam, but hey, it worked out like that, so GG. Well, well, well. Certainly not an aggro hand, but I'm happy to keep with lots of lands and a Bank Buster when we're on the play. We're going to get to draw a bunch of cards. And opponent, Concealing Curtain. Okay, again, 2 games in a row. Hope my game sounds haven't been too loud this whole time. Don't want to be blowing you guys' ears out. Struggling to hear me. Battlecopter's a good draw. I think I'll pass, and then if opponent goes ahead and instant speed, or sorry, flips the curtains, then in response we'll cast the Thopter. So just like last game, I assume he takes the Combat Thresher. Seemed like a good thing to do last time. Oh no, actually last time he took Touch the Spirit Realm. But this time he takes the Soul Partition, okay. Getting mixed up a bit. Awkward amount of mana. We really want to start drawing with the Bank Buster, but we want to be very efficient with our mana here. So I'll cast the Wormlet, then at instant speed I could play the Combat Thresher. So we'll attack. I could grow the Battlethopter 1 now, but I don't think that's really... The 1 extra point of damage isn't going to matter. You could argue that I want to touch the Spirit Realm right now and get rid of the 3/4 Menace, but I don't. I think that the 3/4 Menace isn't posing enough threat to our life total that we're worried about it by any means. And I'd rather just make sure that the Wormlet and the Battlethopters grow as soon as possible. So, Thresher, draw land, please. No land, another Thopter, so that's unfortunate. And a Simulacrum. I'm gonna draw right now, try to hit a land, right? Okay, hang on, wait. Don't be too hasty with your decisions. If I draw now, I could still channel Touch the Spirit Realm to get rid of that token permanently. So I will draw. We missed the land, unfortunate, but it's okay. Touch the Spirit Realm channel ability to get rid of that. Then we'll kill the Sorin and get in for 4. And all of a sudden, just like last game, opponent's starting to think, wait, can I win this race? And he'll be thinking, yes, he can, because he's on 15, I'm on 15, but it's his turn. Plus, he has a bit of removal. Okay, okay. Oh, a lot of removal. Ouch. Gets in. Well, now we draw our land. So, it's going to be an aggressive turn here. Putting counters on Combat Thresher is so nasty. Like, so nasty. It's like a 1/1 double strike. Now it's representing 6 damage. And then we'll probably end up drawing, but we have Touched the Spirit Realm to get rid of something if it's very scary. Kind of like that. But I don't think that's so scary that we really want to get rid of it. I think we'd rather just actually Touch the Spirit Realm, cast it as an enchantment next turn, take 2 damage, and make sure the Shielder doesn't come back. Opponent decides it's not worth it. And he's probably right. I mean, I had a lot of stuff going on there. Good game, opponent. Well, we are 1 win away from Diamond, so that'll be good. Halfway to Mythic, I guess, from Plat 4. Typically, I've always found that the grind from Diamond to Mythic was less difficult than the grind from Plat to Diamond. I don't know why. Just always kind of been like that. We choose to keep this hand. We're on the draw, but it's really good. Like, we have the Bank Buster, but we also have the Soul Partition. So it gives us like a good option of versatility, whether we want to be defending our life total or going for card advantage. We definitely take the trade here if opponent offers it. Nice. So I gotta say that the Thalia here is pretty inconvenient, but we have a great draw. Something to do off the top. And we're grateful for the Patchwork automation showing up. So now, I'd like to just Bank Buster and start drawing cards, but opponent might not let us. Gets in for 2. And is he stuck on 2 lands? He is. Alright, well, I know I said I wanted to Bank Buster and start drawing cards the next turn. But... You know what Mono White runs as removal is Laydown Arms or Brutal Cathar. But Brutal Cathar is the main one you see. So if it's Laydown Arms, he can't pay the ward cost on the automation. And if the automation's a 4/4 because we cast the Simulacrum, then he can't attack. Well, I guess he could attack by enlisting this, but then I'd still block with the Simulacrum and I'd make him discard a card. So that's very good. Plans change. I don't think we're super pressed to start getting card advantage against opponent. I think the most important thing against aggro decks is to just establish your life total. I mean, protect your life total, establish a board state so he can't get through. Kind of mixing my words up. So he does the thing, he enlists, he gets his Scry. Opponent's gonna dig for lands. Anything he keeps on top we can safely assume is a land. One top, one bottom. So we'll draw a land next turn. We'll block with this Simulacrum, since we don't care about him dying too much. He discards another Thalia. I might just touch the Spirit Realm next turn and get rid of that Thalia forever. Recruitment Officer, that's a good card. Then he passes. Yeah, if I do it like this, the next turn, Bank Buster and a Soul Partition cost 1 less. So let's just do that and hope he doesn't have another Thalia. He already discarded 1, has 1 in play. So 3 in the top 10 or 11 is very unlikely. And if he had a Scry, he surely would have scryed it away, knowing that he already had 1 in hand. And I guess we just keep the Automaton back. Though, you know the problem is here. If opponent enlists the Guardian of New Benelia, then we don't want to block with the Automaton, so there's no point holding it back. We may as well get in for 4 damage. The only way this goes badly for us is if opponent plays the Lord, the Valiant Veteran, or whatever the heck he's called. Then he's got 2 3/3s, and he attacks with both. But even then, he could just crew or enlist the Recruitment Officer, and it would be a 6 powered, and we don't want to chump it. So, yeah, no regrets. That was definitely the play. We took a turn off to get rid of the Thalia. Wait, did he not put a land on top last time? There's no way opponent wants to operate off 2 lands. It's going to take him forever to play his hand out. By then, we'll be way too established. God, that goblin's annoying. I leave the game sounds on so that there's a bit of ambient noise for the viewer. Like, maybe not as ideal as putting on actual, like, non-copyright music in the background. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. The game sounds good. Is it too loud? Is it decent? I want to know. I'm very new to content creation, and most people don't leave any comments or give you any feedback. You know, they just watch the video, like it or dislike it, and move on with their day, which is definitely fine. Like, I'll do whatever you like, but I'm curious all the time to know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. All right, in this position, we have a 5-5. We could finally make opponents stop attacking us. He's gonna have a hard time getting past that. So we'll leave up the 2 mana for Soul Partition in case there's something we really want to get rid of. But likely we will draw with the Bankbuster. A Myrel. That is something we are going to want to get rid of for certain. And important to remember that you cannot do it on opponent's turn. Opponent decides that he wants to scry, and it's worth discarding a card to scry. Interesting choice. Maybe now he's got too many lands. He scryed 2 lands to the top, and he's like, no more forever. Opponent has a land in hand. That could be why he wants to discard it. Alright, let me block. Now, we're gonna draw with our Bankbuster. Oh, I can't activate abilities on the opponent. Ah, Myrel! Myrel, how dare you? Ah, I'm so bad at this game. I missed out. I missed a card draw completely there. Oh well, I do that a lot. Also shuts down the flash from this Liberator. So let's go ahead, Soul Partition this. It's out of here. Then go ahead and draw now. No land, sad. Okay. Same position as before, opponent can't really attack comfortably. It's gonna be a while before Myrel comes back, and we have another Soul Partition for it when it does. Oh, opponent was blue. So that means he's probably not even running any copies of Laydown Arms. His removal is exclusively in Brutal Cathar, which can now pay the ward for the Automaton. Let's just draw again. I really want to hit the land drops. That's good. I believe now we're gonna just pass the turn and then flash in the Liberator. We'll be taking 3 in the air, and we really need to start thinking about killing opponent. So actually, I think we're going to go with a more aggressive play here. We're going to play Wormlet. Then just this frontliner. We're gonna play aggressive, but not more aggressive than we have to. Just gain a life, attack for 6. Opponent kind of incentivized to chump block here, but decides going to 6 is fine, which is exactly the message we want to send. Take the damage, opponent. We're happy to trade with your creatures. It's important to recognize when it's time to switch strategies. You know, we have been defending our life total and establishing board state and card advantage, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, time to go before opponent kills us in the air. As soon as he gets a clock established, really as soon as you can, as soon as you can afford to get aggressive. And so we draw another land for turn. Great. We have 6 mana. Three for the Battlethopter, 3 for the Simulacrum. Let's... Man, I'm kind of thinking a lot here. With that darn Siege Veteran, opponent gets to really block freely with his recruitment officers, knowing he's going to get 1/1s. So let's get that Siege Veteran out of here before combat. That really puts pressure on opponent. And let's really, really put pressure on opponent now. By going like this. I don't think opponent has lethal next turn. What if he plays a Lord? Well, he has to block to not die. So even if he plays a Lord, it won't be lethal for us. Like, we won't die. What is he doing? Well, I don't know. He didn't block the automaton and went to 1. Chomped 2 3/3s instead. Misplays everywhere. Good stuff. I think we got him. Not much he's going to be able to do from 1 life. There's no life gain in these soldier decks. We have a Mishra's Foundry. We have another frontliner from the graveyard. Big game, man. Soul Partition, dude. This card is so good. I'm actually kind of surprised that soldier decks don't run any Soul Partitions. Like, I feel like they should. Well, that's Diamond, boys. I'm very happy. I'm so happy to be playing a homebrew deck that's my own. You know, it's not just a net deck. I do enjoy playing good decks that you get off the internet that are like really tuned and really brewed well, and you know, can see pro play. They're so good. It's fun to pilot them as well. But for me, the real satisfaction comes from this. You know, comes from achieving ranks, playing in Mythic with your own homebrew deck. It's just so rewarding. Feels so great. But yeah, hey, we're Diamond. We're gonna keep grinding a little bit, but not in this video. This is the end for now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. It's good. I enjoy making the content. This is like I said, a new thing for me, but it's enjoyable, and I hope it's enjoyable for you too. If it is, maybe consider leaving that like, and have a great day. Thank you.